Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in Proxima Station, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. We have the red Terran player. Give it up for Nujabee. Oh man, he's got that doom and gloom skull tournament victory. And a good old happy StarCraft's smiley face decal. But spawning up here in the top right-hand corner of the map, give it up for the blue Protoss player. It's Rotterdam. And for those who were wondering why it says 1-0 in a best of one, this is a ladder game from the Rotterdam sub replay pack. Rotterdam gave me permission to cast all these replays, but if you do enjoy any of these games, do consider checking out his channel. Twitch.tv/Rotterdam08, and he does send out these fantastic sub replay packs, which they're not, I'm not gonna lie, you're not going to be learning probably the most badass beyond level or stats level builds. He's not always gonna have the most on point micro and macro. He's gonna make mistakes, but he is still a very high level GM player who actually has done pretty well. If you missed out on the previous cast, he did beat True in a really awesome fashion, and he has a very fun style of play. And I think that's one of the things I appreciate the most about Rotterdam's replays. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, Protoss versus Terran on Proxima Station, or Proxima, I always call it Proxima Station, then I call it Proxima Terminal, Palladino Terminal, and Proxima Station. One day I'll get it right, but surprisingly enough, doesn't go for any kind of early scout out on the map. A lot of Protoss players have just gotten so unbelievably comfortable versus Terran players these days. Just absolutely no fear of any of the kind of crazy proxies or 1-1-1 all-ins and all kinds of weird stuff, or one-base builds that Terran players used to levy at them. Just don't seem to care. And kind of funny too, because this is the one time I've seen a Terran player in the recent games not go for a wall off over at the front. So it's the one time that he could have gotten that guaranteed probe scout in. All right, Nujabee moving on in. Throws down the rip grenade. Not going to accomplish a whole lot, but Twilight Council comes out once again. Rotterdam loving that Twilight Council. He used to be one of those players that I would just see him go for Stargate all the damn time, and I loved him for it. But I'm also a big fan of the Twilight Council tech. Resident Enclaves, yeah, it can get a little bit boring, but sometimes he does like to go into those DTs. Sometimes he likes to go into those Blink Stalkers. And of course, Blink is a little bit more of a common follow-up in this kind of matchup. And a lot of the time, Protoss players will just say, well, of course, Fear Dragon. He's gonna go. As I try and do my best Roddy impression, well, of course. No, I'm not even gonna try that. Oh my god, that was so terrible. Let's pretend that didn't even happen, those 2 seconds of embarrassment. But Rotterdam, of course, I think would be saying, yeah, Blink is a pretty common research in this matchup, because if you don't, you're going to die to the Liberators. You're going to have a bad time. Either way, though, pretty quick Blink research coming out, and also a pretty quick Robo. It's going to be that 1-gate Blink into Robo with no additional gateways being thrown down. He's saturating up that natural expansion, getting up a third gas guzzler with 2 workers. Either this is a very well thought out build from Rotterdam, or this is a very embarrassing mistake. But either way, that's what we love about Rotterdam, is that he'll try and make it work either way. Starport coming on up for Nujabee, going for what looks to be like a Widowmine drop, but oh no, supply blocked! Okay, supply depot's gonna be finishing up, but this is gonna delay the Widowmine drop by a little bit. Oh no, sorry, this is the second Widowmine drop. He already has that first Widowmine moving out in a medevac on the other side of the map, so not nearly as big of a deal. Rotterdam does have that robot facility finished up, but the Observer's not quite out just yet. Where is that Mothership Core sitting? It's sitting inside the main base, and he did get it much on the later side, so he's going to have potentially 2 photon overcharges. Stalker's not quite in position. If this Widowmine drops over here on this right-hand side of the mineral line, could get some good damage done, and it looks like that's exactly where that Widowmine is going to be dropping, and that's going to force Rotterdam to hold on for a little bit longer. Marines dropping in the main base. Photon overcharge is going to be used there almost immediately. Blink does finish up, and he blinks up on top of these Marines. Focus fire is down the medevac. He's going to lose a couple of units or workers over here as a nice focus fire comes out from Nujabee. A Reaper also moves in and softens up some of the workers, but not quite focus fired over there. Widowmine's going to be off a cooldown pretty soon as well, but where is that Observer? He has 2 Observers out, but both of them are being sent out. Rotterdam, you forgot about the Widowmine. Oh, he totally forgot about the Widowmine. He's not even moving his workers in sacrificially. Loses 2 more workers. Does he realize it? He's rallying in an observer somewhere. He's pulling one observer back, it looks like. No, I think he's just pulling it back to detect for drops, but sending the other one across the map. Hopefully he will eventually remember to clean up that Widow Mine, but he's got a lot of gateways coming out. 5 gateways being added on. Now, granted, he didn't have a whole lot of gateways on before. He only had 3, so he's going up to 8, but this is very much a 2-base all-in. It also explains, oh god, loses more workers. The Widow Mine's up to 8 kills. Considering Rotterdam is only on 32 workers, that's a lot of kills. He could have been on 40 workers. This would have been so much stronger of a push-in. But he's getting up charge. I think he wanted to go for a big charge lot plus blink attack, which is most certainly a very interesting, different attack that I haven't really seen too much of. But all right, no fourth gas geyser. Nujabee, you're gonna get more kills. Okay, he gets only 1 kill. That could have been really devastating. He pulled back a second too early, or potentially too late, but he's not moving out. He's going in with a Warp Prism. He's got enough charge. He doesn't have a Templar Archives. He's still chrono boosting that Twilight Council as well. He's warping in 6 Zealots. This is just not the place where Rotterdam really wants to be right now. Oh my god, that Rotterdam, you have observers. You have 4 observers. Pull one back, friend. There we go. He cleans up the Widow Mine. At the end of the day, worker casualties, 17 workers killed. Absolutely brutal. He's got charge, he's got blink, and he's got a dream, and nothing in the production tab, which I think says a lot. The production tab says a lot about how this game is going right now, but, well, he's still actually sitting pretty even on supply, and that just goes to show you that he does have quite a bit more in terms of, or he has at least a little bit more in terms of that army supply, 66 to 52, and if he is able to set off some of those Widow Mines nice and early on with some good Blink Stalker Micro or even just some Zealots, could do a pretty good job over here. Nujabee also wasting one of his early scans, not quite catching this army, and Rotterdam also completely avoids one of those early Widow Mines. These Zealots are going to have a hard time as they do charge right into the Widow Mines. Oh my god, it's a massacre. So many of their shields are immediately lost, but Rotterdam is at least going to be able to clean them up. I don't think there are any more Widow Mines really around. We got 3 Widow Mines somewhere. Okay, 1 more Widow Mine does pop out. A lot of these Zealots still regenerating some of their shields, and this is going to be just not the place that Rotterdam wants to engage into. All the Zealots in a big choke point, trying to funnel into these Marines and Marauders. Everything gets taken out. I think a command center gets taken out, which is really nice for Rotterdam. He does take out a 3rd. But if you're sitting on 29 workers, because there's another 2 Widow Mines that dropped in, 5 worker kills, 2 worker kills. Rotterdam was too focused on the drop, much like I was. He doesn't spot out all the additional workers that he's losing. He's down to 27. I think this is that point that Rotterdam's probably moving back to his natural expansion and thinking, oh god, I know what happened. He warps in some of the Zealots in a pit of despair. Thanks, so what do I do from here? He's got some more Zealots, and may even need, oh god, he's got so many Zealots at home, but he's not even doing anything with them. I don't think he can move in either. He did take out a good chunk of the army, but oh god, he just lost some more workers. 1 more worker killed off. What am I burning a little bit closer? There's so many idle Zealots. 6 workers killed. Well, nobody can say that Rotterdam does not include games that he loses in his sub-replay packs. Widow Mine does get taken out. Rotterdam finally catching a bit of a break over here, but hopefully he doesn't end up losing too many of these Stalkers. Loses one of them. Others do manage to blink out in time. A second stim up, though, and blink is on cooldown. Scan goes down to try and snap off the observer, but it's already backed out a little bit further away. Rotterdam still does not have a 3rd expansion, but would a 3rd expansion actually be helpful in this situation? I feel like eventually Nujabee is just going to move across the map and try and kill him. And at that point, Rotterdam is going to have to choose. Do I have army units or do I have an extra economy so that eventually, and I can hope Nujabee doesn't decide to move out long enough for me to get up some form of economy and some other form of tech to replenish that worker count. I mean, Zealots are nice, but he doesn't even have upgrades on these Zealots, and he's now going to be sitting on 0-0 versus 2-2. I think this may very soon be a foregone conclusion. Is maybe the final big attack if Rotterdam decides to commit in, but I think his best bet is to try and scare his opponent into not actually attacking. just say, oh, this is my big attack. You hold this off, you'll win the game, but never actually push in. Oh, but that's not going to be the case. Rotterdam finally guns in with all of his zealots, and by guns in, I mean kind of nerf guns in. He doesn't really do a whole lot over here, unfortunately. He does kill off one of the Liberators with some of those stalkers, but that is going to be the one saving grace. GG gets called, Rotterdam tops out, and Nujabee takes the game. And the latter reigns victorious in our second game from Rotterdam Sub Replay Pack.